whatever we practice, we have a, I think we have a, some kind of mindset that we can improve constantly, right? It's difficult to just be okay with it, right? So when you work with Agile, you have this continuous improvement. When you're working lean, you have relentless improvement, right? And you want the Six Sigma, you want to improve the last digit, right? And when you are working at sports, you want to become better, right? When you're going to school training, you want to become better and improve. So you have like this cycle going. Friendship, you want to actually improve that and also make it better activities and stuff like that. And it's suddenly you get, I think a lot of people get like, can we just relax?
I heard
hey,
I heard this in the past connected with Scrum and with this idea of sprints and the conversation about, so when is it done? When are we done? You're never done. The
exactly.
product is never, what product work is never finished. So it, I remember those conversations about, it feels like a hamster constantly sprinting. In SAFe, they introduced this idea of IP sprints, of innovation and planning. For whatever reason, I don't even know if that's to get some rest. Like if it was mostly to work with the issue of that we need to a sprint to release stuff that we did in the previous sprint. So whatever was the original, but I like the idea that there is some time to take a mental break from indefinite sprinting.
Yeah, exactly. I also think that the word sprint is demanding a lot of you, right? So when does the next sprint start? Immediately after the first sprint stops, right? Immediately after. It's like, okay, I need to grab a cup of coffee. No, you're sprinting, right? There's like this push, right, going up. So
wasn't it something in the Agile manifesto about the pace that needs to be consistent
sustainable,
or sustainable, yes.
Yeah, sustainability. So I'm thinking about Sisyphus when I'm working this one. So Sisyphus is working really hard, getting up the stone up the hill, and once he got the stone up, he says, and when he does that, he loses everything, right? And it runs down the hill, and he has to start all over again. So that's why I think people are afraid of. But what if I want to rephrase this Sisyphus myth? It could be that I have a string of hills going forward, right? So I bring the stone up and I say, and then it rolls by itself down by all the work I've done, and then I can go down and bring up the next one. That's a reframing. I don't know how that works in philosophical terms, but your life is like that, right? You keep on bringing that stone up, and then you relax a bit, and then it runs down, right? If you don't hold it, and you can't, right?
Yeah, and it's very challenging to keep on rolling it up constantly.
So in SAFe, they also have this IP sprint. It is actually for relaxing, but many places has made it for like, oh, then we just overcommit and use it as a buffer so we can do it right. So you tend to have a system where we want it to be more efficient, but what we do is actually just add on stress, add on push and expectation on each other that we can do more, we can do better. Maybe that movement some years ago, less is more, would be appropriate to look at again. Right.
I'm also interested. You started this conversation. Do you have like now personal, work related, whatever related experience, or what is it?
Yeah, I do have some experience, and I'm not saying I'm perfect because I am not. I joined this meeting feeling really many things going on, too many things are pushing me. But there's one thing I think is interesting is that when I was younger, and also when I was a consultant, I had a lot of things I needed to do, right? Now I'm in internal a company, and I'm actually removing a lot of the doing by just either being or actually not being, not doing. And it's not
Mm.
that it doesn't change anything. It actually makes me more aware of what is important and what is not important. And it makes the people who are working with me, at least in their perception of the work I do, say I'm doing much better. I'm even better
Mm.
now, so less is more in that sense.
Yeah.
It might be a perception thing, it might be something different, right? It can also be that I'm actually, when I'm in doing something, I'm doing it. I'm really there, right? I'm what you call being present, right? So that could be interesting. So getting a lot of things I need to do. I'll get in this mode where I'm not really here because I'm already in the next meeting. I'm already in the next situation, right? I don't have time to be present in the now, here now. And then I might not even perform really well because people will perceive that as say, "Oh, you're so busy. There's no way I can't get a hold of you. I can't have a normal conversation with you because you're always in meetings there and there and there." Now they actually, I'm sitting in my spot and wait, right? Of course, I look like I'm doing something. You know, that's very important to do.
I think something, as you were talking, something that came to my mind. I remember reflecting on this concept some months ago, related to confidence, in a sense of being confident that I'm good at what I'm doing, good enough that I don't need to create work for myself.
Yeah.
In a sense of the work usually comes and goes, and when it goes away, I sometimes feel like I was so filled with adrenaline just recently, and now I need to do stuff, or I feel
Mhm.
anxious, like no, I'm not doing anything. Is it?
Yeah.
And I think it's some part of the realization that work will come, and I don't need to create it for myself, and I don't need to be afraid that maybe I'm doing something wrong, because I'm not doing anything. Like, I'm having a coffee chat with Jakob now, so
Exactly.
there's something in it that yeah, it's part of the natural cycle.
Maybe. Maybe it's a part of the natural cycle, but you hear more and more people getting, like stressed and having are busy and work a lot and getting into those stress situations. We talked about stress earlier, so it's not going into that part, but it's like we are actually creating this situation ourselves
Yeah.
because we are able to actually to have that pause as the Sisyphus stone is rolling down the hill. You can just stop, breathe, and don't care about it. Just be there in the present, and then you can go down and do the Sisyphus stone up the hill again, right?
Yeah.
Uh,
Another thing that I thought about is something related to culture.
mhm.
Very much in Poland, where I'm from originally, there's definitely a culture of you need to be busy.
Mm.
And I remember that many years ago, it was like you need to be in the office. It's all very close to something that I heard is natural in Japan. You can't leave the office before your boss. So it's very typical. I was visiting my friend in Japan a month ago, and that, like when I was there staying at his place, that was the case. He was back from work around 8:30. So that reminded me a lot of the Polish culture of you need to be at work.
Yeah.
It's less about the work you're doing. You need to be busy. You need to sit here and do the work. Fast forward to now, I don't see that much in Denmark. It's a very unknown concept, I think, that just sit here on your ass and do the work, even if you don't have work.
I'm not sure you're right. I know some companies where it's not like that, or what, and it depends a lot. So I really first time I heard about this optimizing your organization or system towards busyness, right? That the organization is busy by itself. It was Craig Lauman who introduced it in the system thinking. But then in Denmark, it came a book called Soda Work, where we actually invent work for us just to become busy, stay busy, being busy. And now we have whole departments in companies that are creating soda work and not trying to do less is more, but to do more is better, right? So they rather do a lot. I am not saying that it's not applicable, but it is with the other view where you have the intention of it's better to be safe than sorry, right? It better let's do a lot of work and then and that movement tends to crash with my mindset on, at least my mindset now is on, is it possible to do less in order to have the ability to be present in here now, because it might be the here now presence that makes a difference, and not the stuff that you have made, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, bad example. Also, I just got an idea of an example, and then I evaluated it. It is not a good example, so I just.
Well, what we were discussing online meetings also recently, and online meetings are very much linked to this multitasking. Like I'm here in a meeting with you, but at the same time, now there are people talking, so I can check email. I can answer this message on Slack. Let me just maybe check, and you're gone from the meeting mentally. And it's so easy to multitask nowadays, and
Sorry.
put more stress on yourself at the same time.
Yes. It is being what you call, it is being proven that nobody can actually multitask. As long as you are having just something you have to do like this, you can pay attention to something else. But if you have to change this one in some way, right, you cannot multitask. So there was a really nice TV show where they tried to take people who said, "Oh yes, I can multitask. I'm really good at it." Blah blah blah, right? And then they said, put them in the car, and they were driving around and sitting somebody beside them, and they were talking. See, I can multitask. I'm driving, I'm talking. Yeah, right. But then suddenly, when they were driving, somebody threw something out in front of them, and the conversation completely stopped. And afterwards, the information that they had about the conversation was gone because they were they were hijacked in their sense. So
I don't know if that's only me, but I think I saw other people doing that as well. When I'm driving a car and I'm lost, or I'm looking for a specific place, like is it this turn? Is it that turn? First thing I do, I switch off the music.
Good idea. Yes.
So it's but I don't do it. It's just that at some moment this music starts to annoy me. I don't need more. Now I just need to find this place, and I'm you know.
But I think it's only you, because everybody else will use a navigation from the phone or the computer, but and have the music at the same time, and the wife and the kids talking, and the dog barking, and somebody eating ice cream.
Yeah, and you eat the sandwich with one hand,
Yeah, exactly.
your mobile with the other, and
exactly.
the car is self-steering.
So it's only you that had that issue, but very
yes.
interesting you have it. Have you been to a doctor talking about it?
I went to a psychotherapy with Jakob. He told me it's
and came out and was like, oh,